17 years after the Michael Bay Transformer movie debuted, the latest installment is roaring into theaters. It's an animated prequel. It explains the backstories of Optimus Prime and Megatron and charts their rise to galactic greatness. CBC senior entertainment reporter Eli Glasser, you already achieved galactic greatness, joins us now.
I like the setup there. I like that.
So it's a busy time in the movies. What brought you to look at this Transformer?
Very serious film. I'm going to bring out some of my friends. I'm a bit of a collector. That's Cosmos, one of my favorites. I believe this is Braun. He's kind of a truck. And of course, you can't talk about Transformers without the best. He's got the little thing that comes out, Soundwave, you're old enough to remember, turns into a cassette player. How high tech. So I enjoy Transformers. Yes, this is from the Eli Glasser collection at home, which keeps getting bigger and bigger. I like to believe that it's kind of like origami for adults. You know, it's like a fidget toy with a purpose. You can pick it up and play, and it becomes a flying saucer and whatnot. Now, the movies themselves have been of varying quality. Some hits, some misses. So what's interesting now is that you have this animated prequel. So they're kind of like, okay, we know who these characters were. How did they become that way? So we're starting over again on the home planet of course, you know at home, Cybertron, where we're learning how these bots came to be. Now, this is a beautiful looking animated film. It has some really impressive voice cast acting like John Hamm, Scarlett Johansson, but it all starts with these two lowly mining bots, Orion Pax and D16. Let's meet them.
Ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in. Hey, watch where you're going.
What did you say?
It's not like he can transform.
Hey, Darkwing.
Don't.
My finger can transform. Guess which one?
Allow me.
I appreciate you having my back.
No matter what.
So there you go. There's a bit of a bond there. They've got some jokes and great voice acting again. You've got Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax and then Brian Tyree Henry, who I love, as D16. Now, here's the thing. If you know your Transformer lore, if you're a Transformer nerd like me, you may know that Orion Pax becomes, of course, none other than Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. And that means that D16 becomes this guy.
Here's something to keep you warm!
I think I'm 16 again. The greatest thing ever, the dastardly leader of the Decepticons, Megatron. So, we start, though, much before then. Of course, we're on Cybertron. It's kind of like a buddy film, right? You've got these two bros, they're mining bots, nobody respects them, but they suspect that their leader, Centennial Prime, voiced by one another than John Hamm, something about this guy doesn't really check out. So they're going to investigate, and that's really where the movie begins.
Okay. This is just...
Take this very seriously,
I'm taking
this
it very
important
seriously.
Cinematic investigations.
Yes. Okay, so now the live action Transformer movies have been a little hit and miss, as you said. So how does going to animation change things?
So I'll tell you,
hard-hitting questions.
They let the trailer out when it was first announced. And up until now, I think you'd agree, Transformers are a little stoic, a little, you know, they're talking robots. It's kind of hard to play that off. So this was very funny and seemed to be going for a more sarcastic kind of take on the Transformer world. I didn't know if it was going to work, but actually some of the jokes did land for me. I'll give you one scene where the thing is, they're these lowly bots and they don't have something called their cogs, which means they can't transform. Well, as things progress, something happens. Oh my God, they've got their cogs, so now they know how to transform, but it's their first time, so it's a little rough in their first transformation. Let's watch.
We can transform now!
On 3, 1...
It's working! Where's my head? How do we use these things?
Oh, look at the wheels! I need wheels!
So there you go. show. I mean, it's got some jokes. The humor actually lands. I didn't know if the tone would work, but it certainly does. Now, if you're a fan of Transformers, this thing is just littered with Easter eggs. There's all sorts of characters in the background that be like, oh, it's this, it's that. There's a lot of great stuff there. And the voice acting, I mean, you just heard Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1. You got Keegan-Michael Key as a version of Bumblebee. Steve Buscemi, Steve Buscemi plays Starscream, which is just, that fact alone is hilarious. The biggest challenge for me, though, is like, okay, this is idea that Orion Pax and D16 are supposed to be pals. They're bonded. They're kind of in it together. But we know how this story ends. So, at some point, things have to change. And the movie really does hit a major speed bump where they suddenly go from being bros to the breakup. And then, of course, his eyes go red, mortal enemies, battling each other. So do I wish that evolution, that turn could have been a little more artful? Yes, I do. Then again, it's a movie about a talking truck. So maybe my expectations were unrealistic, and my final rating for the talking truck and all his friends is 3.5 stars out of 5.
Thank you for transporting us to your Transformer world, Eli. I
Anytime.
appreciate it.